Okay, I'm Carl Dix. I'm down with the Revolutionary Communist Party, and I want to say something about these reactionary black preachers who are out there spreading the poisonous lie that a black woman who has an abortion is part of a genocide being carried out against black people. I mean, this is just ridiculous bullshit. They're comparing a sister deciding to terminate her pregnancy with a racist mob that lynches a black person. There's just no comparison there. Let's be clear on that. Because, look, what are we talking about when we talk about abortion? We're talking about a fetus, a clump of cells growing within a woman's body, and these fools want to tell us and want us to buy that that clump of cells has rights that trump the rights of the woman who's carrying it. What does this come down to? This comes down to saying that that woman is nothing but an incubator. And let's be clear about this, about abortion overall. That's what the right to have an abortion comes down to. The ability not to be reduced to the level of an incubator. The ability to assert her rights as a full human being. Because women are not incubators. They're not breeders. They're not sex objects. They're not bitches, hoes, or punching bags. They are full human beings, and they must have the rights to decide what happens with their own bodies and to choose to have an abortion. Stripping them of that right comes down to forced motherhood, which is nothing but a form of enslavement. That's all it is. It can't be allowed to happen, and let's make no mistake, these Christian fascists are out to strip all women in all circumstances of the right to have an abortion. And these black reactionary preachers who get out there as part of this and push this lie that black women having abortions is part of a genocide is just an attempt to suck people in, to get them behind this reactionary shit and be part of a battering ram forcing the enslavement of women throughout society, half of humanity. That can't be allowed to happen. It's got to be stopped. Because look, you got these guys, these black preachers, pushing this out there. And how is that any different than the view that the slave masters had of black women in their role back in the days when black people were enslaved on the plantation? That it's not up to a black woman to decide whether to have a child or not, but that they're being forced by society to do that. How is that any different on the part of the slave masters and these preachers? It comes down to the same thing. And look, here's another thing that exposes that this is just a cover for this fascist reactionary agenda and not coming from concern for black people. And that is the fact that there is a very real genocide being enforced on black people in society today. And it ain't got nothing to do with abortion. It's about police murdering black people. It's about mass incarceration. And the fact that millions of people have their lives caught up in dealing with these horrors. This amounts to a very real genocide that's being enforced. Now, I don't hear these preachers saying anything about that. I don't hear them saying we got to do something about what happened to Michael Brown or Eric Garner or any other of the people that were murdered by the police. You know, so this is how we got to look at that. Now, I've been out here fighting this very real genocide, and I know a lot of you all have too, and we got to continue doing that. We got to take the resistance on that front even higher. And at the same time, you got to join this fight to defend the right of a woman to have an abortion. You got to do this because both of these attacks are rooted in the same system, the capitalist imperialist system, and they serve the interest of those who want to keep this system and its white supremacy and male supremacy in effect. It's like Bob Avakian, the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party, says, you can't break all the chains but one. You can't fight for your freedom but then say you want to leave intact the chains that bind women into subordinate positions in society. It's about getting free, and to get free, we got to fight all oppression and fight to break all the chains. So join us in this fight. Be in D.C. on January 22nd, confronting the woman-hating anti-abortion agenda of these Christian fascists. Be in Oakland on January 23rd when these black preachers have the nerve to go to Oscar Grant Plaza with their lie that abortion is genocide among black people. Be with us in San Francisco on January 24th. Abortion on demand and without apology. Unleash the fury of women as a mighty force for revolution.